Hi, Sandy here. So last weekend I cleared everything out of the garage, and we don't have a lot in here, just our 3 cars, and I have a lot of signs on the walls. I took everything down, I repainted everything, and scrubbed down the whole garage door, got everything cleaned up really nice. Everything is all painted. So this is my garage, and as you can see, there's not much in here. So where do we keep our mowers and tools? When I designed this garage, it's 10 years old, I designed it for the 2 car spaces here in the front and 1 space over there, and then I walled in this section, and that's where we keep the stuff. So this is my workshop, and this is this weekend's project. Right now I'm going to take everything out of here, including the workbench and the shelves. Not the shelves on the wall back there, but these shelves, and give it a good cleaning and paint everything. And these are old fiberboard shelves, and they kind of sag a little bit, and I'm going to replace those, redesign everything, and gradually get everything put back in here. And when I get done, before I put the workbench in, I can build the shelves and refill them. But before we put anything back on the floor, we're going to give it a good scrubbing, and we're going to paint this room, which is 10 by 20, and the garage floor, all the floor, with epoxy paint. So that'll be fun. The first thing I'm going to do is take this door off, because I don't want it in the way when we're painting the floor and painting the room. And so I'm about to get started. Okay, I got the room all cleared out. I'm going to leave these shelves here. I need to clean the cobwebs out of the corners and get it all cleaned up. Get the light switch plate off, the outlet plates off. And it's 8:30 at night already. And I hope to get it painted by midnight. So, got it all cleared out. I took the door off so that when I paint the floor and paint, I don't get no paint on the door. My deck is just full of stuff. It's dark outside. Let me see. Well, you can't really see. Oh, it's been a whole week now. It was Friday night. Friday, I took everything out of this room. Then late Friday night, I got it painted. All day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then a few hours on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Here it is Friday again. I have been cleaning and puttering and just going through everything with a fine-tooth comb and reorganizing this workshop, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm thrilled with it, as a matter of fact. I'm still going to paint the floor, but I'm going to do that, possibly do a video on that later, but I'm going to wrap up this video on cleaning up the workshop. I've got this epoxy paint. I bought 4 kits of it because there's basically 4 car spaces, because we're also going to do the garage, of course. So I've got all that stuff ready to go when I'm ready. We're going to have to take everything off the floors again to paint, but we got so much hanging on the walls and organized, and we won't have to take a lot of stuff out. So I think I will start over in this corner here. This is my husband's side. He mows lawns on the side. He's got these 2 mowers that he uses. My brother helps him. And then we've got a 3rd one. If one of those breaks, we've put the handle together and we use that one. But I got that one out of the way. So we got his 2 mowers here and his trimmers. And I do have a big square table. You can see where it was mounted to the wall. But I'm not going to put that back until we paint. But I got the walls painted. Everything's neat and tidy. I got these shelves on the walls. That's lawn and garden stuff. He had a big box of all these leaf bags. We go through a lot of those with our customers. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a huge yard cleanup. We clean our yard every spring, and she's got a lot of dead plants from the winter that we use a lot of bags. So I've got the lawn spreader way up high out of the way. You can kind of tell by the space between the top of the door and the ceiling how high the ceilings are in here. Now we did have one of those carts that holds the rakes and shovels and brooms and all that stuff, but I really didn't like it taking up so much floor space. So I did this. When you go look at Home Depot and other places, they don't have very big hooks. And I've learned to buy stuff at the store to organize your stuff. Sometimes you can, but usually it's better to just custom make it. So I took a 4x6 and 2 2x4s. I cut them at a slight angle, so they're pointing up, not going to be sagging down. And I don't know, those are probably 18 inches long. I screwed them onto the back of the 2x6, and then I screwed the 2x6 into the studs. So there's that top board there, and that holds like 6 rakes. Got them all together in one place. And then I added another 4x6 with 2 more boards. I've got my shovels there and the claw. This is the claw, and it digs up the dirt, you know, and loosens up the soil if you're planting something. I got my post hole digger and lawn and garden stuff hanging here. I found a place for our electric hedge trimmer. So that's all neat and tidy. And I also added a 1x4 piece of wood here, and I added some just U-shaped nails and some old shoelaces to keep these up against the wall so they're not going to be grabbing at you, especially this claw. And just tie them secure against the wall and nice and neat. And then above the window here, I have some bird houses and just give it kind of a garden look. I got denim curtains. I cleaned the window frame really good, washed it and painted it. And then up here I made some more of those wooden brackets, and I've got the snow shovels and 2 push brooms up there. And then directly under that is a 1x4 with brooms and mops and our dust pans. There's another 1x4. And again, I tied down the handles. You know, you don't get at those things every day. You know, they go months and you don't even touch them, so you got them tied up out of the way. Okay, and then over here I got my tall ladder. That's 8-foot tall ladder in the corner. I repainted most of these shelves. I left the wood part across the front. I've got the top completely bare, so I gained some space. I got rid of some stuff. I've got stuff on this shelf, and then these 2 lower shelves. I got rid of some of the scrap wood and restacked the rest of it onto these 2 shelves, and that's what I used to build my brackets for my lawn equipment. And then I had 4 wooden sawhorses and 2 plastic folding sawhorses that were broken. They were taking a lot of floor space. So I said, just get rid of them. And I went and I bought 4 new folding sawhorses and got those up out of the way. Now I did have shelving right there, but I decided I'm going to have some less shelving, and I got my saws and my level and yardsticks and some more tools all hung up here. So that's all organized. And then over here I've got some old bedspreads that I use for painting tarps, automotive stuff and more automotive stuff. And then I've got all this stuff for cleaning the cars and the tires, and that's nice and handy now. It was up higher and we forget what we have and it doesn't get used, so that's good. I already had this 2x4 that I had made. It's kind of dark under there, but it's just some deck screws spaced there, and I have the size of the wrenches written on there. This side is metric and this side is regular, and I wasn't really going to reuse that, but I ended up doing it anyway. In the meantime, I bought these 2 brackets at Menards, and I put metric on one because I had so many, and regular on the other. This one's a regular, so that I can just grab it and take it to my car or whatever I'm working on. And because I don't really know sizes, oh, I need this size or that, so I can just pick one up and say, oh, that's too big, I'll try a smaller. They're all right there and handy, so that's good. Got my hammers hung up here. There's my table saw. I went through in the last couple of days and completely organized all the tools. my first husband used to do body work on cars. There's a lot of clamps in there and tin snips. These are tools I will never use. A torque wrench. These are for getting like the panels off the doors for doing body work and stuff. These are very odd tools, specialized tools. I'll never use them. Got a ton of extra wrenches. These are all socket handles and socket adapters and accessories. And I spent a lot of time on this. I bought these metal strips with the clamps on them. Got those all organized. And in the front I've got the taller ones and some metric ones and the regular. These front four I can just grab and take to my project. I got pliers and vice grips in here. I got some files and some assorted tools. I got like a, what do you call it, a spike or something. And I've got these with the like socket ends on them. A lot of this was my first husband who died 21 years ago. There's needle nose pliers. These have interesting tips on them. Just some odd stuff. Wire cutters. There's some window pipe cutters. Just weird tools. Some awls. And the hex keys. And then I got a lot of extra wrenches up in here. I have a lot of stuff. I got crowbars here. Okay, moving on to the workbench. This is my work of art. So up high I've got just extra stuff that we'll probably never use. I've got some empty milk crates that I hardly ever use, so they're up there. I had some weather stripping and stuff I put in that red milk crate. My husband has landscape lights and he keeps having to replace them. We've had them for a long time, so we got 2 boxes of parts up there. These are some tools that I rarely use, like a tool and die, tap and die set, a Dremel tool kind of thing. Behind the red vise is a reciprocating saw. I've got 2 bench grinders. Like I said, a lot of this stuff was my first husband's, and I just keep it. And I got some buckets up there. I got hooks for hanging bicycles and stuff. I've got a bin of extension cords, scrapers and brushes, router, circular saw, jigsaw, tape, staple guns, sandpaper, and I've got my push handle right here handy, right above my table saw. And I've got this saw real handy. That's a drywall saw. And then moving on, I've got a box of gloves. I got safety equipment like a mask, safety glasses, earplugs. I got steel wool pads, heat gun, rivet gun, solder gun, special screwdrivers. That's a lot of those sets. One screwdriver with the tips that you change out. And then razors, like scrapers and stuff. And then I keep, I had a ton of screwdrivers. This thing was packed with them. And then I looked through them and I thought, I'm not going to put all of them back in there. So I had this nice set with the red handles, and then this set with a good variety. And all the rest were a bunch of mismatched. And I should throw them away, but instead I threw them in a box. I'll show you that in a little bit. So I've got 5 drills on this shelf. It's kind of dark, you can't see them too well. And then I've got 2 things of bits in there. Then I used to have a lot more saws and hammers and stuff hanging on the wall, but I put those in a box which I'll show you soon. Like I had rubber mallets and ball-peen hammers and different sizes of saws, hacksaws, all that hanging up, and we don't use it that often. It doesn't have to be out. So I cleaned out my toolbox, and today I spent some time cleaning out my parts bins. These are basically all, this top section is all drill parts. And today I took and I drilled holes. I've got 8 different small drawers here, and I drilled holes in the front. You see that hole? And different sizes of holes. And if the drill bit will slide through there easily, but not the previous one, then, you know, so it starts tiny, and if it doesn't fit in there, it'll fit in there. The smallest, I want it to fit through these holes in the smallest size, so that's going to make it easier to keep my bits sorted by size. And then I've got the drill screwdriver heads and stuff. I got the specialty heads, just all kinds of stuff. And then I moved some of my hex keys. Those are the larger ones, because I had a ton of them. And the smaller ones. And what I have is, over here back to my toolbox, this is my hex key drawer. And I bought 3 of these. So all I can do, I can just grab this and take it to whatever I'm working on. Instead of trying to find the right size, I've got it right there. So I moved the rest of them over here. Okay, and then directly below that, I've got a drawer full of the wire ties. And then below that, wall anchors. And then some wire ties. Well, the plastic ties, like this. The ties. I need to get some medium size, because those are all small. I don't have any medium size. Well, I have a few. And then I got all of my nails all sorted nice and tidy. I've got thumbtacks. I've got brads and regular nails. I've got U-shaped nails. Well, these are not thumbtacks. They're, you know, carpet tacks. But I got those all very organized. I'm real happy with them. And then I took all of these drawers out. And I've got assorted things in there, like pins to hold the shelf bracket pins. Just all kinds of stuff. So, and I need to make some new labels for that. And then this one and this one, and the top part of this one is all nuts and bolts and screws, and I'm not going to go through all that. It's basically tidy. But then I've got my deck screws, and I did just sort that: large, medium, kind of smaller, and then the much smaller. Something just jumped out of there. And then I've got these silver ones, and then I have 2 bins of drywall screws, and then I had some assorted screws that kind of need to be sorted and put away. I just put them in there. Okay, and then under my workbench, I used to keep this is my miter saw. I used to keep it on top of the table saw, but that looks so nice without it up there, so I'm not going to keep it up there anymore, or I may change my mind. And then I've got this box that says ration stamps only. Can you see that? That was my first husband's grandfather back from the 30s or 40s, whenever they had ration stamps. So that box is a keeper. And then I've got some wire and some cord and rope and all that in there. And then I have my bicycle pump handy under there. And then I've had this for quite a while. This box is all plumbing supplies. And this box is all electrical supplies. This box is full of cable cords and telephone cords and light switches and electricals. And I really need to go through that more and get rid of a lot of... We don't have cable anymore. We don't have a landline anymore. And then I had brackets and hardware and all kinds of stuff. And I put them in these two black boxes. I just bought those black boxes. Okay, and then one box. Okay, this is extra stuff, the extra screwdrivers, the old socket holders, just some extra tools. This one is my sanders. I have 2 or 3 different sizes of sanders, electric sanders. I keep them all in this box. And then this box is where I put all of my extra hammers, the ball peen hammers, the rubber mallets, and all my extra saws. I have various kinds of saws, the hack saws, several different kinds of saws. So I'm feeling like everything is very organized now. Got rid of some stuff. Everything is handy, and I'm really happy with it. I painted all the lids to these boxes 10 years ago when we first built this workshop. I tried to coordinate with the toolbox and the mowers. So just a lot of little bursts of red to tie things together. I didn't have a place to hang my work light, and I've got a spot for it now. It's out of the way. I've got a bow saw up there. I'm just really happy with my new workshop. And this part just blows me away. I'm really happy with this. So I hope I didn't bore you too much with my tour. And thanks for watching. And I hope I get my floor painted soon, and I do have a door there, but I'm leaving it out until after we paint the floor. All this stuff on the floor will have to go outside when we paint, which is a lot less than I used to have on the floor. So, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.